Hey everybody, David and David here from Payette.com and Upphone.com, and in this video we're going to let you know whether or not you should get a 5G phone in 2020. Before we dive in, we just want to say we're trying to grow. One way you can help us out is by giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing. So, should people get a 5G phone?
I think the short answer to this question is absolutely not at this point. There are a number of drawbacks to 5G phones, and the first one is price.
Yeah, the 5G phones often come with an extra $500 price tag, so you're paying all that extra money for something that really isn't going to give you much of a benefit because 5G isn't really widely available yet. And if you're curious to see where it is available, we have a city list. We'll link to that in a card above in the description section below, but it's very limited at this point.
Yeah, so that's the first problem with 5G is that 5G towers offer companies the ability to connect a lot more devices within a small area. So the problem is that by the mid-2020s, carriers like Verizon, AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile aren't going to be able to support the number of devices that are on their networks. And in urban areas, the reason you see 4G LTE towers so close together isn't because they have limited range, it's because they have limited capacity. So they could really be putting these towers miles and miles apart, but there's not enough capacity for each tower. So 5G offers an exponentially greater amount of capacity. So you can connect thousands of devices to these towers, but they all have to be placed a few hundred meters from each other. So instead of these big cell phone towers, which we're used to seeing, they're going to be these little boxes that go on telephone poles. So we're going to see these all over the place. But you can imagine that we're talking about like millions of these boxes being deployed across the US. So it's starting in major cities where you're going to see these improved performances. But it's only going to be in major cities for a long time, and then we're going to see if they expand 5G to more rural areas. It's going to be expensive for them to do that.
Yeah, I mean, even if you are in a major city, I think 4G LTE speeds are still good enough for the basic functions of a phone. You can still browse the web, send text, use social media.
Video chat.
Yeah, video chat. You don't really need 5G at this point.
Right. The 5G capabilities are so far beyond anything that we need at this point for even streaming 1080p video. Yes, you'd be able to download a giant software update or a giant game faster, but beyond that, the 4G LTE connection speeds, as David said, are fast enough.
Another issue right now is that there aren't a lot of 5G phones out there. Samsung has the S10 5G, a Note 10 5G, OnePlus has a 5G phone. But beyond that, there aren't really a lot of options for you. And if you're an iPhone user like us, there isn't even a 5G phone out there yet.
Another piece of this is that 5G is brand new technology. So manufacturers of cell phones haven't worked out all of the bugs with the hardware yet. As with any new technology, when it's introduced, components are bigger and bulkier than 10 years down the line. So at this point, every iPhone has a system on a chip design, but there is no 5G system on a chip yet. Doesn't exist. So for instance, with the Samsung Galaxy S10 5G, they have the system on a chip, which supports the 4G LTE, which it always has. And then they have a separate 5G modem, which if you look at the pictures of it, is just as big as that other chip. A second modem requires more power. So the way that Samsung made up for this is they actually made the battery bigger inside of the S10 5G. They added a 10% greater battery life so that they could say that our phone doesn't have less battery. But in fact, it is going to use more battery if you're using the 5G performance. So I think that Apple at this point is just waiting until they do invent that system on a chip design for 5G phones, which is probably going to come out next year. And then they'll be able to take that and put it into their new phones.
Yep, so some 5G phones to look out for in the near future. Obviously, Apple's 5G phone. Samsung is also developing a fold phone where it's kind of two displays and it folds open, kind of like a Pokedex. We'll see if that comes out. Yeah, we talked about 5G before in a video called Is 5G Worth It? We'll link to that in the card above and the description section below if you're looking for more information about 5G and its limited capabilities at this point. But that's pretty much it for this video. Should you buy a 5G phone in 2020? The answer is almost certainly not. Costs too much.
There's really no point.
Really no point.
What are you going to do with it that you can't do with your 4G phone is the real point. Nothing. Can't do anything more. So what's the point?
Yeah, so thanks for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed. Leave us a comment down below if you want to talk more about 5G. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more great cell phone videos.